officially a homeowner, me and Reed today.
Congratulations,
closed on
man.
the house. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I got told by a ton of people, and I know a lot of people out there who've bought homes, who've gone through this process, that closing, you have to sign so many pieces of paper. And see, Reed wasn't able to be there, so I had power of attorney, so I was signing for both of us. So I show up, they do a really good job. I'm about to sign the papers, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I just do my signature for me and for her. No. I had to sign my name, and then after everything I signed on her spot with my name, I had to write, in fact, power of attorney for whatever, on every
It's like a paragraph
signature.
On every page.
Oh, it's legitimately, and it was funny because after the first 5-10 minutes, I had signed a bunch. We were going fast. They were like, hey, you're doing a good job, whatever. And so she looked at me and she was like, all right. She took this huge stack of papers that she had set down in front of me and like cut them in half and was like, you see this? This is information you already have. So I looked at her, I'm like, wait, so I'm done? So I don't have to sign anymore? She's like, and she looked at our realtor and then laughed. Like, not like a normal laugh, like like Dr. Evil, like I know when you don't know type of laugh. But we got it done. I got it done. Wrists a little bit sore, but we battle through adversity here. That's how we handle our business.
Two things. One, who are you going to let on your lawn, Jake's lawn? You know,
not a lot of people.
And two, how dare you assume my gender at the beginning of this?
Okay, well, it's not Flamin' Dragon Friday. So
close.
It's close. We're a couple days away. The College World Series revoked their invitation to a national anthem singer because he gave a horns down sign. Cole Cublic's going to join us, give his predictions on the upcoming college football season. And David Cohn tells Brittney Griner in Russia to get off his American lawn. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to it. It's Crane and Company. Who run the NCAA make the people who ran Enron look like a bunch of Leonardo da Vinci's. And they continue to reinforce that belief by banning 27-year-old teacher Zac Collier from singing the national anthem at the College World Series. Now, he must have done something pretty salacious to be banned from singing the anthem, you would assume. But you would be wrong. He was sidelined because he made a horns down gesture before the Oklahoma State and Texas softball game. Now, that's a shot at the University of Texas, but you shouldn't be surprised seeing as Collier is an alumnus from Texas A&M. The NCAA actually used the terminology obscene gesture when letting Collier know he would no longer be singing, which, if you think that's obscene, you should probably go to an actual game. That's nothing. And we get offended by everything nowadays in society. And with institutions like the NCAA being so afraid to hurt anyone's feelings, I guess we all have to be robots. And this has nothing to do with Texas fans either. It's legitimately all on the NCAA. And I know that Longhorn fans know that they better be thick-skinned because you're coming into the bear pit that is the Southeastern Conference. And if you're so worried about something like this, why would you ask a person who graduated from a rival university to sing the anthem at a game his team isn't playing in anyway, let alone his rivals are playing in? It sounds like poor planning. Now, rivalries not only help make sports elite in general, but it is one of the most integral parts of college football. These vitriolic rivalries breed unbelievable atmospheres and actually bring more people together than they tear apart. Now, thank goodness the NCAA is going the way of the dodo bird, which is unbelievably fitting to say the least. Let's just hope whatever entity takes over college football isn't softer than a Charmin Ultra commercial, because with this type of stuff, believe me, less is more, but more is more when it comes to Tessemaes. I'm going to bring in David Cohn Blaine here. Why do we get upset over stupid things? Why do we get upset? Why?
Why, David?
Why?
Okay, so two different things. First of all, let's talk about the horns down.
Let's talk about
the fact that this gesture keeps getting called offensive, and I think they use the term you're mocking the opponent. That is just that is so soft.
It's the softest.
You know what? And I keep saying that college football will be better when Texas is back. For those Texas fans out there who want to complain about the horns down gesture, I almost don't want Texas to be good anymore. I almost just want to pull against them. But I happen to think there are a lot of Texas fans out there who look at this and say, we don't care, bring it. We just want to be good at football again. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the first half. Okay. Go ahead.
My thing is, I don't blame Texas fans here. Like this This has nothing to do with Texas fans on this one.
But they have
in the past. Remember last year,
that was what we talked about last
us and our good friend Blake Ruffino from Are You Serious stirred the pot a little bit with Texas fans because they got all hurt about the horns down signal, which, again, if you're going to throw horns up, don't get mad when they throw horns down. That's part of it. But again, we're so soft. The NCAA sucks so bad. They're just the worst. They are the worst. They do make the guys at Enron look like geniuses. They make Bernie Madoff look like the cleanest guy since Mr. Clean. It's a joke. That's why we all laugh at the NCAA, and I can't wait to see that plane crash and burn. Mark Emmert, they're pushing him on the raft out to the river, bud, like the old people they used to do in the village. Just good luck. Congrats on a great life. Can't believe you made it this long, but you can't help us anymore. So it's so stupid that we have to talk about this. And there will be some people that say, you know what? It's a neutral site. I understand why they wouldn't do it. I know. Go ahead. Say on your side, because this is ridiculous.
The horns down thing, I think we can all agree on that because that is stupid. But on the fact that they would, I support them revoking Mr. Collier's invitation to sing to a neutral site championship because he's a fan of the other school. There are 8 schools playing in the College World Series. And like you say, everybody's a fan of someone, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Everyone's a fan of someone. It's so easy to pick a great singer to sing the national anthem who's not a fan of one of the 8 schools there. It's in Omaha, right? Find a great singer who loves Nebraska. Yeah. And have them and bring them in there and have them sing. I wouldn't want someone who is on record as being a huge Ohio fan to sing the national anthem at a neutral site championship if Michigan and Ohio both made the tournament. Do you disagree with that? I mean, say if it were Alabama and Auburn.
Okay. I get it. Don't hire a guy that went to the rival school. Again, like you said, I believe you made the point. I feel like he would not be doing his duty as an Aggie graduate if you don't throw the horns down when you're singing the anthem at a Texas game. Like, why don't you just hire Aubie to sing the anthem for Bama? Why don't we just do that? It's poor planning. It was a stupid idea. What you should have done is probably send him a letter saying, hey, man, we're probably going to move you just to a different game to sing the anthem because I think we made a horrible mistake. But they never say that. Nobody ever says they made a mistake. It's you're bad. But we're so soft. We're Charmin ultra soft. Like, we're over here getting mad about this, and the kids over in China and all them are doing push-ups and math, and we're getting upset about this.
Blaine, go ahead.
Just the thing with me, just sing the national anthem. Like, just sing it. Like, I don't need any extra stuff. I don't care if you're a fan of the team or not. Just sing the national anthem. I can't believe
you're on this side of it.
It's about the national anthem. It's not about you. I don't care where you're from. Just sing.
So let me ask you this. If they called you and said at the national championship game, Bama's playing Georgia, okay, and they said, Blaine, we want you to sing the national anthem. I know you. I've known you since the first breath that you took. There's no way in hell or high water that you're not doing something before you go do it or wearing an Auburn shirt. You're doing something. I know you, and if you deny it, you're lying.
I would do something, but
Hold on. Then.
I would never be in that position.
Okay.
Because you can't sing?
Because you can't sing.
No, because most of the singers, I would think, I played sports. I played football. I coached football. It's different with me. All right, it's different. My dad coached at Auburn.
He went to A&M. You didn't go to Auburn.
But still, he's a singer. Afterwards, you'll probably get interviewed or something. You can tweet it or say something. Just sing the national anthem. First of all, I would be too scared to do anything because I'm about to go sing in front of all
you are
people.
Hypocritical,
and I am now terrible.
There are too many people you could get to sing it.
Yeah, but not even that. I don't think you should have to do a background check if he's a fan of a certain team that's there or not. Just sing the national anthem.
I agree with that too. I mean, do your due diligence a little bit.
You're doing the fan base a disservice. He would get clowned more. He would get clowned more from Aggie fans if he didn't do something going to the Texas game than he would have. His boys, the ones that count, I'm not talking about in general, I'm talking about the ones that matter, the day ones. The day ones would have said, you blew it. You're one of us, seat at the table, all right? We're all in the same tribe together, and you had a chance and you blew it. I would much rather be ostracized by the NCAA and told that I can't sing a national anthem at the College World Series game than have to go back and face my crew letting them down because I blew the opportunity.
Hopefully my boys will be like, hey, man, you sang
But can we
really well. You did a good job.
You're on pitch.
Yeah, you did well. Steady. You did well. It's like, man, you didn't throw the horns down, son. Dude, you blew it.
Can we just agree, though, that calling it an obscene gesture is obscene in itself?
Yes, I will agree with that. And I love your point. I love your point of saying that the NCAA didn't respond to it in the right way. Think about it. This is college athletics. How cool would it have been had they sent this kid a letter and said, look, man, We found out that you're a Texas A&M grad. That's super cool. You threw the horns down, like, you can't sing here anymore, but we think that's awesome. You rock, and why don't you go sing the national anthem for the opener at Texas A&M's opening game in the fall?
Yeah, or
We'll
you know
help
what?
look it up.
Go sing it at Auburn Ole Miss. Go sing it at Auburn Ole Miss. They'll put the horns on. Everybody agree with you. I mean, this is just poor planning. That's all it is. It's poor planning. I'm sorry. It's just, that's how it is. It's like, you give me Tom Selleck to sell me reverse mortgages. That's good planning. The old people are going to believe it. But don't hire a guy that went to Texas A&M to sing the national anthem between Oklahoma State and Texas. It's like asking the devil to ref a boxing match versus good and evil. It doesn't make sense.
Good,
It's like the Chewbacca defense, right? It don't make sense.
That's exactly right.
Speaking of a guy that does make sense is Cole Cublic there. We're going to bring him in when he's ready and
Serious, I got a serious
some college football. But Booster Club Blaine, really quickly.
All right, Travis Elrod says, God, I just love reading comments.
Travis Elrod sounds like he was like
that name sounds like you could hit a
medieval
baseball
times.
400.
No, it just sounds.
Travis Elrod?
Yeah.
It's so close to A-Rod that I just believe.
All right, real quick, I want to get Cole in here.
He says, yes, Blaine, as someone with 2 degrees in music, I can say you're totally right. Sing the melody. The more you make it about your singing skills or political positions, the worse it is.
Okay, well, listen, we all know that y'all both are wrong and that I'm right.
I can't sing for everyone in the chat. Like,
no, you can't. Well, then The Arms of an Angel was pretty good, that one.
Look, if I'm 5-6 Millers deep, we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. All right, let's get Cole Cublic in here from Mac and Cube. SEC analyst on the SEC Network, does a great job. Cole, what is up, my friend?
Did your guy just say that the more you make it about your singing while you're singing the national anthem, that's a problem?
Cole,
Get on
please.
him, Cole.
Cole, please.
Get on him.
Help
not
us.
The entire reason that you're up there singing because of your singing ability?
Sometimes I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, Cole. Sometimes I legitimately think that. And you're exactly right. But Cole, I do want to jump in here and ask you, though. I mean, you're singing the national anthem. You throw horns down. Why'd you bring a guy from A&M on? Why is this a big deal?
It's not a big deal. I do feel like if you're going to get up there and act like a clown, then if they want to take you off the next one, then they have a reason to take you off the next one. And the dude sit there and turns towards the Texas fan section and throws it down. I think the whole thing is dumb. Like you said, if you're going to throw horns up, expect to see horns down.
Yeah,
that's the way it is. If I peel back on a screen and take a dude out, I expect on interception that he's going to probably come try to find me and take me out. That's just the way it goes.
And it used to be in baseball when you pimped a home run, you better get ready. Somebody's wearing the next one.
Good days.
It's part of the deal. It's the price you have to play. But speaking about horns up or horns down, I want to jump into a question real quick about the SEC. We know Texas and Oklahoma are coming over. We just saw the Big 12 is going to lose Cincinnati, UCF, and Houston in 2023. Cole, do you think we may see a similar timeline with Texas or Oklahoma, or are they going to keep bleeding us to death on this thing till 2025?
I'm hopeful. I wish it would happen. I just think that's a much bigger, different amount of money that we're talking about.
Oh, it is for sure.
And to think that those schools are just going to be able to get – the thing that I don't know, the one question in all of this with those two teams, Jake, that I do not know is contractually, when new teams are added to the Big 12, what happens to Texas and Oklahoma's status? And I've asked a lot of different people who also can't give me an answer on that and don't know. And maybe that's why they're kind of sitting back and slow playing it, thinking that, well, you go and add a couple more teams, all of a sudden this ain't the same conference, and we might be able to legally make something happen by being able to get out a little bit earlier. I think we're all wistful. We all hope that it happens a little bit earlier. I can't imagine wanting to be Texas or Oklahoma in a conference for another year or two, knowing that you're going to leave, and how the conference is probably going to stick it to you in scheduling, how you're going to be treated by opposing fans, and just how uncomfortable the entire thing is going to be. But if I had to wager right now, I would say that it's probably not going to happen early.
That's unfortunate. But speaking of SEC, I do want to stay there, Cole. There's been a lot of talk. I am for getting rid of the divisions. Let's have 3 permanent rivals. Let's play it out, everybody else, through a 4-year career. You can play everybody at home and on the road. We're going to get to finally see Georgia and A&M and stuff like that and create some new rivalries as well as adding Texas and Oklahoma. Are you for scrapping the divisions? And before you answer that, if you're for keeping them, can you please somehow explain to me how Auburn and Alabama are in the West and Missouri's in the East? Because I may have been looking at my map funny this whole time.
Yeah, you can't have 16 teams and go divisions. It's just that's not going to, especially when you have some rivalries that are going to be cross divisional and you're going to have to play them on an annual basis, kind of like Alabama, Tennessee, so on and so forth. I'm with sort of the three teams that would be regular opponents on an annual basis. I do think that there are certain schools that's going to get really complicated with. When you start talking about Texas, you start talking about A&M, you start talking about Florida, LSU.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's easy to figure out for Auburn. It's pretty easy to figure out for Alabama. But LSU doesn't have a natural rival. So you want to see Alabama LSU every year. That's going to be a ratings bonanza no matter how good or bad those two teams are. You're going to want to see LSU Florida because that game's been a hell of a lot of fun the last few years on the field and off the field. LSU and Arkansas have a trophy that they play for, the Golden Boot that weighs 175 pounds and 14 karat gold or whatever it is. A lot of people would tell you that Ole Miss and LSU is a rivalry game. I mean, you can remember this like I can. We talk about Alabama LSU now, but let's go back pre-2009. Auburn LSU was a much better game for about a decade than Alabama LSU was. So that's what I think is going to be cool about changing this. And I think if you were to go with that model and say you have 3 permanent opponents every year, I would also leave the window open to revisit that every 4 years.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe slide a permanent opponent off and slide a new permanent opponent back in. But there are going to be schools like Texas that you have to play A&M. You have to play Oklahoma. And then what are you going to do with the third one? Because we don't think Alabama, Texas would be massive for ratings every year. Absolutely it would. But do you want to go back Southwest Conference and maybe get a Texas and a Texas-Arkansas game every year? Do you want to try Texas-LSU? I mean, I don't know, but I think that's got to be the way that it goes, and that's going to probably – the one thing that I will say is I've never been a big proponent of, you got to play in every stadium. I got to go play at every field and every stadium and every – I never cared about that as a player. Like, I never cared that I didn't play in Nashville. That wasn't a big deal to me. Like, I never played in Lexington. It never bothered me. But I do understand from a fan perspective, traveling perspective, trying to sell more tickets, which that's a big problem. And we know you got a better chance to sell tickets when new teams are rolling through. And that's obviously going to be something that the conference is thinking about as well.
Yeah, and I think, too, the destination argument for playing everybody everywhere is one thing. But also, to me, I just feel like the whole point of scheduling, and I know I may be looking at this in somewhat of a naive term because it's about money and matchups and trying to gross the most revenue possible. That's why we're at where we're at. But when I look at taking the divisions away and I look at adding that 9th conference game, to me, it's more about scheduling as even as possible and everybody being able to play every team because, to me, that makes it easier and clearer to play a champion. I know, Cole, again, you went to Auburn. I'm from Auburn. Auburn pretty much has the hardest schedule year in and year out, and I wouldn't be shocked if on the 3 permanent rivals, we all saw me catch that, the 3 permanent rivals, if they gave Auburn like Georgia, Alabama, and LSU or somebody. So that's where I'm interested to see because you know as well as I do, it's a little bit sidetracked when it comes to some teams and who they get.
I don't think Auburn fans can complain much if you go back and look at Arkansas and South Carolina.
Arkansas is brutal too now.
Nobody can say anything compared to what those two teams have. That's another interesting point that you bring up is that 9th conference game because I've always thought, this is just my opinion, I have no factual information on this, but that 9th game to me has always kind of been the ultimate trump card in the pocket or up the sleeve of Greg Sankey. Okay. So look at next time those media rights become available, and that's the other thing that I don't have information on is when the CBS game comes over, and that's a Disney property, and then when Oklahoma and Texas come over, what happens to the current contract? What do the current media rights look like? It's obviously going to have to change. It's going to be totally different. But you could save that 9th game, and maybe it is when those two teams come over, and say, you know what I'm going to do for you? Instead of $1 billion a year, how about $1.2 billion per year? And I'm going to give you an extra conference game for every school, which is only going to give you that many more elite, high quality, high ratings games every single Saturday. Yeah. So I don't know if you pull that out now. And obviously the college football playoff has a lot to do with this. You stay at 4. Why the hell would I go to 9 conference games?
But mathematically, don't you almost have to though? Like adding teams, you have to add a game. I would think. I mean, you're at 16, right?
I don't think you have to by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you could still keep it where you are and just play another non-con, but that also brings you into the mindset of where is this whole thing going?
Yep.
And it's why that I said back in 2 springs ago that I thought FCS should stay in the spring. And it's why I said that some of the group of 5 teams better start figuring out a plan for the future, and they better be having conversations for plans of the futures because if you just saw Alabama schedule 2 non-con games today, do you see the price tag for those 2 games?
Yeah, and it's going to be a bloodbath in both of them. I think it's Eastern Illinois and Bishop Sycamore.
Totally will be. However, They're not getting 1.2.
Yeah, was it
1.5 and 1.8? They're both well under $1 million.
Yeah.
And so what's going to happen here in the future is when we keep getting this massive pull away and we start getting closer to 60, 50, 80 teams that pull away and form their own division, well, if you do that for money, what are you going to do with your own money? You want to keep it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these conference commissioners are going to come together and say, why are we playing these other schools? We just left all of this to stop giving money away to other schools. Whatever this revenue wheel is, let's use round numbers, $1 billion. These schools are going to leave at some point in time because they're tired of sharing 8, 10, 12% of $1 billion. You might say, well, 10% is not much. 10% of $1 billion is much.
Yeah.
And so that's why these schools are leaving, because they want the money for themselves, because they're sharing it with teams that have nothing to do with wins their national championships. So those non-conference games are going away. Those big pay games are going away.
Yep.
You'll be lucky if Power 5 schools have one of those in the near future.
Yeah, I wouldn't schedule it, especially with a 9-game in conference in the SEC. I'm not scheduling anybody big time to go play in Atlanta before that. And to quote Dr. Evil, though, Cole, why make $1 billion when you could make $1 million? And with that, I'll send it to David Cohn.
Well, it seems easier to crown a true conference champion if you add that extra game as well. But, Cole, I want to jump to the ACC really quick. I mean, Clemson had a quote-unquote down year last season, and they still won 10 games. But they lost both coordinators, still have questions with DJ at quarterback. Mario Cristobal comes into Miami. Wake had a good season last year, and I still think NC State could make a run at this conference. What are your thoughts right now on the ACC coming up this season?
I think it's going to be a fun league to watch this year. I do not think that there is one clear-cut front runner. If I had to pick a team to win the league right now, it would be NC State.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people are going to say you've fallen for that trap before when I picked them to go to the playoff a couple of years ago. But I think they have a quality quarterback.
Yep.
I think they're as good as any other team in that league on both sides of the line of scrimmage, O-line and D-line. And I think their skills a little bit better than people give them credit for. What I like about the ACC this year, and what I think is going to make it fun, and what I think gives it the opportunity to not just say, oh, it's going to be Clemson, or oh, it's going to be these two teams that win the two divisions, is you have really good quarterback play at Miami, at Wake, at Virginia, maybe at Clemson, and it doesn't even have to be DJ Uiagalelei, because you have a high-profile recruit coming in Cade Klubnik that could potentially take that job, and we've seen that happen before at that school. So I think you have quality quarterback play over more than half of the teams in that league. We don't know exactly what Pitt's going to look like, but that's a quarterback that has experience coming in from USC, that's played, that's going to understand the system. Yes, you lose Jordan Addison as well, but I think you're going to get high-quality quarterback play at the majority of the teams in that league, which means there'll be more upsets, and there'll be more teams that can figure it out, maybe go on, win that division or win that league. So I'm excited. I think Miami's got a chance to be solid. I think Wake's going to be a really good team. North Carolina's a big-time wild card in the ACC right now. Now, they've lost elite skill for the past 3 seasons, so we don't know exactly who's going to fill those voids, but we know Mac's been recruiting well. Gene Chizik comes in at defensive coordinator. Hopefully he gets that shored up. They did lose a couple other assistant coaches that are going to move on, but I think the ACC is going to be highly competitive. I think it's deeper than it's been in a while, and by saying that, you also have to say, well, they're not as top-heavy as they've been. So they might not have a college football playoff contender realistically, but I do think it's going to be a very entertaining, very competitive season.
Good. Well, I'd love to hear you support NC State there, because I was starting to feel crazy, but they return a really good squad. I want to get one more here in real quick with Marcus Freeman, the new head coach at Notre Dame. He was in the news a little bit saying how much stricter the Notre Dame academic standards are than some other schools he's been at. Well, one of those was Ohio, his alma mater. That's who Notre Dame opens with. What do you expect from Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame, not only in that opener against the Buckeyes, but throughout the whole season?
I don't expect there to be really any dip, because he understands the culture. He understands how to operate at that job because he's been there. The defense obviously is going to be the same. It's just going to be his. They'll run it the same way. I think Notre Dame's one of about 6 or 7 teams that has a chance to have a really good offensive line this year. When you go look at either Ohio State, Baylor, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Texas A&M, they all have pieces that could allow them to have good O-lines. But I'm not going to sit there and hang my hat on any of them, because there are real unknowns. There are quality players that are gone, and there are groups that haven't played a ton of snaps together. But I think when you look on both sides of the ball up front, Notre Dame's got a chance to be good. Michael Mayer, one of the best tight ends in college football. Offensively, you keep the same offensive coordinator that's been running the show. So a lot of those pieces stay together. A lot of the glue of what has made Notre Dame a 10-game winner the last 5 years stayed there. And he's recruiting better than Brian Kelly did, which I think is surprising a lot of people.
Yep.
So I don't think there's going to be much of a dip. I think Notre Dame has a chance to be a surprise team in college football. When I say surprise this year, it's just because nobody's really talking about them. I mean, everybody's talking about Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, now Texas A&M and USC. Not a lot of people talking about Notre Dame. I think they have a chance to put a really good season together.
He even went and got a legacy quarterback from Ann Arbor.
That's true. Lloyd Carr's grandson. I do. Blaine's got a question he's got to drop on you, Cole, that's been bothering for a while. But I do got to ask before we get into it, Auburn this year, how many do they have to win for Brian Harsin to come back for another season in your mind?
First off, I hate this game.
I know. It's the worst, Cole, but it's the truth.
But you know, like I do, that there are certain people, especially there, that love to play that game.
Yep.
And love to say, it's got to be 8. I'm sorry. But it's got to be 8.
Yeah.
You better win 9.
Bobby, it better be 8.
And I always laugh at that garbage because, like, let's say somebody says it's got to be 8, and you beat Georgia and Alabama, you get hot late, but you dropped you dropped the Penn State, A&M, LSU game early. Like, you're firing that guy?
No.
I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. I think as long as it's above 500, he's okay. It is a difficult schedule.
It is.
The advantages are first 5 games at home. And I think he has a team that with how they're going to manage things, they're going to have a chance to sort of slowly climb throughout the course of the year and get a little bit better. So I'll say 7-8, and he's good. I think people are starting to realize that what happened around February, March was a little bit bogus, and it was one guy trying to push some buttons. He got some other people on board, and now they're realizing that what the fans sort of wanted to believe for a minute because the media was trying to make them believe it wasn't real, and the guy can flat out coach. He needs more players. He needs more talent. But ever since Jimmy Brumbaugh and a couple of the guys have joined that staff, the recruiting has ticked up. So I think they'll be okay. I think they're going to be fine. 7-8, and I think he's still good. I think he still has his job.
Yeah, I hate playing the game too, but like you said, that's a game that gets played down there on the plains a lot. All right, Blaine, drop it on.
All right, I love the conversation, guys, but let's really dive down and get serious.
Let's get important for a second.
Cole. All right, approximately 20 days ago,
Approximately.
you tweeted this. Okay, the Sandlot is overrated and honestly just not very good. Ounce.
I won't back off it.
That hurts. I love it. I love the Conor McGregor where I'm not apologizing to anybody. Trust me, I love it. Says it's not a baseball movie and should never be categorized that way. I just want to know. I don't want an apology, but an explanation. How's the Sandlot not a baseball movie?
Well, it's more a movie about a giant Saint Bernard that grabs baseballs that they can't get back and trips to the pool and your friends and a guy who steals a base in the major leagues one time early in his career. I don't think that qualifies you as a movie about baseball. Major League is about baseball. I mean, if you want to go watch a baseball movie, go watch that movie. Go watch Bull Durham. That's a baseball movie. This is a movie that lightly utilizes baseball to push other plot lines. And just because it relates to people of when they were a kid doesn't make it something that you just want it to magically be. So it is not a movie about baseball. It's a movie about kids, friendship, puberty, the pool, giant St. Bernards, and playing baseball at a crummy field with crummy equipment and guys that aren't any good.
I do have to say, Squints did end up with a girl, and they had like 13 kids. So there was a happy ending there. That's what that Deshaun Watson.
And I bet baseball had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, probably not. Cole, I'm going to be honest with you. That was a great argument against it. Like, I didn't know where you're going to go with that. I mean, I feel like you've been asked that question a lot. I don't know. Maybe you've had to answer that question a lot.
I haven't been asked. I've been attacked about that tape.
You too?
Yeah.
You too?
I've done a lot of things on Twitter that made a lot of people mad. Nothing. Nothing I've said about a team's offensive line or a team or a college football fan base, a player, nothing has pissed people off as much as telling them that I don't think the Sandlot is one, good, or two, a baseball movie.
It hits home, but again, you can back up their argument. All right, Blaine Booster Club.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. All right, we got a question here from David Atkinson. He says, Cole, do my Gamecocks have any shot of being relevant this year?
Oh, relevant? Hell yes. Yeah. Look how far they exceeded expectations a year ago. We legitimately looked at that schedule last year and said, man, if they can get to 3 or 4, that'll be a hell of a year. And now all of a sudden they're in a bowl game and they're competing with a really good North Carolina team and winning that game. Now, you go watch the bowl game and you're thinking, I wish you would have put DeCarrion Joyner at quarterback a little bit more early in the season. You might have been able to find a few more wins. The offensive line underperformed last year. 2 years ago, it was most of the same players, and they were pretty good. Last year, a lot of things different, more gap scheme stuff. Obviously, guys pulling a little bit more more RPO, more read-based. They'll have a better feel for what they're doing this year. They have one of my favorite players in college football at tight end, hybrid utility player. Absolutely.
Yes.
I think running back position is going to be solid. I think the defensive line is going to be really good. My question marks are linebacker and secondary. If they can get that group to play out above their skis a little bit, I think the Gamecocks are going to be good. I mean, think about how they overachieved last year. Now you insert elite quarterback talent. Now, he hasn't always played as an elite quarterback, but Spencer Rattler is an elite quarterback talent. I think that gives them a chance to go maybe 7-8 wins this year.
Cole, I don't think people realize how bad the roster was that Shane Beamer inherited. I really think they don't. Because, again, all the guys were gone. Even on defense, JC, all those guys were gone. That roster he inherited wasn't exactly full of a lot of stars.
Nope. And they're going to have to kind of grind wins out again this year. They're going to have to do with their scheme. But I do think that you insert a quarterback that's going to give you the ability. I mean, listen, I had him a couple times last year. I had the game at A&M. I'm going to be honest with you, it was hard to watch. Yeah. They just couldn't get the ball out. Couldn't get the ball downfield. But now you'll have a guy like Jaheim Bell that you can put in the backfield. Go watch the bowl game and watch Jaheim Bell in that game. Zero's a guy that I think Auburn could take a Robbie Ashford and do something similar. Every team in college should have a guy like that you can just move around and do a ton of different things with that becomes a matchup nightmare. I like what Shane Beamer's doing. I think he's got guys bought in. I think the energy level's high. The fans are on board. And I would not be surprised if they exceed expectations again this fall.
Well, Cole, you always exceed expectations when you come on here, my friend. We always appreciate it. Getting closer to football season. Excited to get you on again. Mac and Cube, you and Greg McElroy doing a great job over there on Jocks. Also, SEC Network, one of the best analysts out there. Cole, I appreciate it as usual, my friend.
Hey, thanks for having me. And since you guys hate my movie takes, I'll give you one more. Predator is the greatest action film ever made.
Whoa. Cole with the mic drop going out.
Hey, Cole, can I ask you one thing? What do you think about the other guys?
Yeah, the other guys.
Good movie or not?
I'm not familiar with it.
You go watch that one and come back on, because I need some backup.
Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, the other guys.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. That'll be good.
Also, it's
I
trash.
gave up on Mark Wahlberg after like the 15th Transformer film.
Yeah, that ruined a lot of things for a lot of people.
Yeah, well, really that's funny because I stopped watching after Megan Fox, but that's for a totally different reason. But I appreciate it, Cole.
All right. I caught hell for admitting that I watched Gossip Girl earlier for the same reason.
Look, listen, Blaine, it's his favorite show. That and Dawson's Creek. He's a big James Vanderbeek guy.
Hey, Grey's Anatomy, Grey's Anatomy is good.
Yeah, what you do with Grey's on your own time, all right?
You're right.
Let's keep it with the show. All right, appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, guys.
All right. If you want to watch or listen to the rest of this show, we're still going to have the audio on YouTube, but head over to the Daily Wire, become a member. We just released Terror on the Prairie with Gina Carano. It's one of the best movies that they've made this year, one of the best Westerns you'll see. But make sure you're listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, because we think you're a 5-star. And share it with your friends and the people you've just started to dislike. Maybe it'll bring you closer together. We'll be back with more great sports analysis. You guys, it's Wednesday, so y'all know what that means when we come back from the sub break. Our 6'7" friend, who's got the mind and soul of an 83-year-old person, tells somebody to get off his lawn. And oh boy, does he have a good one today. Last week was activist. Cone, who's getting the hell off your lawn this week?
Today, I am telling Brittney Griner and Vladimir Putin to get off my lawn. Now, hear me out here. Hear me out here before you call me un-American. For those of you who have stopped watching ESPN and you're solely getting your sports analysis from Crane & Company, first of all, you're winning. So congratulations.
But sure.
Brittney Griner is a professional women's basketball player. She's one of the best ever, and we know that because she dunked one time. But she's not in the news for basketball. She's in the news because Russian officials have detained her in February for allegedly smuggling hashish vape cartridges into their country. This is a country where the president has built his entire reputation on thuggish behavior. Not a great place to test the limits of the local drug laws. Now, some people are saying that Brittney has done nothing wrong, that this is a setup, and the Russians planted this hashish on her. Now, if that's the case, if that is the case, then we need to send Tom Hanks on a full Saving Private Ryan mission, and I will join forces and we will put Putin in his place. Okay? If, however, this is an example of an arrogant American celebrity who thinks that she can break the laws of another country with impunity, then I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is what happens when you smuggle hash into Russia. You know, I mean, it may be not the laws of our land, but it's the laws of their land. And that's really my point, is that America doesn't seem like such a bad place when you compare it with other parts of the world. So what options now do we have to go get back one of our own? I mean, we could send Dennis Rodman. I mean, if Kim Jong-un will talk to him, maybe Vladimir Putin will talk to him. We could maybe send Blaine. Blaine might go rescue her as long as she guarantees him to play one-on-one for her spot with the Phoenix Mercury.
He deserves a shot.
Maybe Blaine will do that. Or what's more likely to happen is we will have to exchange some sort of prisoner in a geopolitical trade here. And since I don't see Bobby Fischer anywhere, it's not a great time to be playing chess against the Russians. All right? But now I could talk for hours about the possible solutions moving forward, such as one, we could stop buying Russian oil, all right, but we won't get too much into that. Or two, we could stop trying to globalize our professional sports to other countries who don't share our values. But I will end with a more simple message. Whether Brittney broke Russian laws or Russia is just trying to leverage her in some capacity, I think we can all admit that the powers that be have failed us in this situation on both sides. So if you are a person who thinks America is some evil, oppressive patriarchy, and that we are marginalizing your existence on all fronts, then I welcome you to hop on the next flight to Moscow, and on your way, stay off my lawn.
Love it.
That's really good. Blaine, I want the Booster Club's thoughts on this. What's the Booster Club's thoughts? Kevin's Get Off My Lawn's my favorite segment.
Guys, am I wrong?
No, you're not. You're not.
In fact, you know, there's been more people on the moon than actually women who've dunked a basketball.
That was the best line of the whole thing. That was the best line of the whole thing.
Look,
That caught me off guard.
My thing on that is like, I would never just voluntarily like want to make fun of women who are out there trying to play sports and compete. I would never do that. To me, it's more about, if you're trying to gaslight me by telling me that she could actually play in the NBA, Mark Cuban is the one who came out and said Brittney Griner could actually play in the NBA and he would give her a shot. It's the same thing with Pete Carroll and Colin Kaepernick. Why not sign her then?
Go get her.
These people want a virtue signal on this front, but then never actually like sign her on the team.
Look, here's what's the Booster Club say, Len? Does the Booster Club say anything?
Brian High says Cone is a savage.
He is a savage.
Brian,
good way or not?
Good.
Oh,
that's a good
way.
It's a good way.
That's
It's
a
a savage.
Brian Bailey says, man, if there was a country that she'd like to beat down that could come in and save the day.
I know. Well, here's my thing on it. And again, you know me, it's honesty hour. Like you said, if you tried to smuggle hash into Russia, okay, we're talking about Russia, right? We're not talking about Spain. We're not talking about, some of our buddies that hang around the geopolitical drinking table. This is Russia. All right, they're in a war with Ukraine. If you tried to smuggle drugs into Russia when them and America are kind of going back and forth and you're a celebrity, then it's hard for me to feel bad for you.
Who's your friends?
It's hard for me to feel bad for you. It's like, all right, if you're going to do that, how am I going to feel bad for somebody if you're going to, bring a Bible to Iran and go talk about it in the street? Or if you're going to, I don't know, take an American flag in North Korea and start waving it in the middle, or taking drugs into North Korea. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out that's a bad idea. No. And just because you play basketball doesn't mean we're like, all right, okay, well, you play basketball, so you can bring drugs into Russia. It's not a smart. There's one person right now, in my opinion, that they could call to save her. There's one person. It's Liam Neeson. Yeah, I saw him at the basketball game. If you want to get her back,
there's two people you can call.
It's Liam Neeson. And that's it.
Cruise. And Tom Cruise.
Maybe Tom Cruise.
Look, I'm beyond.
Maybe Tom Cruise. Liam Neeson's getting her back.
There's literally nothing on Netflix, so I'm rewatching the Mission Impossibles. You know what's messed up about Netflix? They have number 1, number 2, and number 4.
Really?
They don't have number 3?
Number 3, why?
Weirdo.
I found out after I watched, because for some reason I went 4-1-2. And then find out to the end. And now I was messing with, now I'm upset about it.
Blaine, what is, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, our boy Jonesy made a good point, which is, what if, because you can't put it past Russia, who sees an American celebrity come into their country and just wants to plant something on them to be able to hold her and detain her and keep moving things back and make up a penalty as they go to try and leverage it for some sort of prisoner that we have here. You can't put that kind of stuff past Russia.
Oh, no, I'm not.
That's why I wanted to add Vladimir.
But why am I going to Russia? Why would I go to Russia
why not
right now?
plant?
Well, that's one of the things. She was going to play basketball over there. That was my point on the trying to globalize sports into countries who don't share our values.
Yeah. Well, read the room. Read the room. I'm not going to.
Russia, why wouldn't you plant something worse than that?
That's a valid
Why not
point,
plant something worse than that?
That's valid.
If you want to talk about
again,
leverage.
Why are we going to Russia right now? I'm not hopping to go talk on a sports podcast in Pyongyang.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going there. You want to know why? Because I don't need to go there right now. Like it's not play basketball here.
Yeah.
Like they got basketball courts all around America, and guess what? In a lot of places, you can have a shisha oil. You can hit the hookah before you go in, and you sub in 3-on-3. Why are we going to Moscow to do this? I don't understand. The only way I'm going to Moscow is if the government comes to me and asks me to do a mission, and I'll accept it.
Yeah, and that was mainly my point. Regardless of what the details are in this situation,
Okay.
there are just a lot of people who love to use America as a punching bag.
They do.
This is just a great example. Well, there are outgoing flights to everywhere in the world. You
Go
could
ahead.
be on the next one out.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Talk about loving basketball. I'm just trying to get out of that place right now. Blaine, Booster Club, then we're going to rapid fire.
Joel Dr. Lee says, hashtag say no to hash in Russia.
Say no to hash in Russia. Hashtag no hash in Russia. Don't do it.
Also, while we're talking about this topic and we were talking about films, I have to ask you guys, have you ever seen a movie called Return to Paradise?
No.
One of Vince Vaughn's serious roles and one of Joaquin Phoenix's early roles.
I can't either.
Let me explain the plot of this film real quick. These three guys are in Malaysia, right, at the beginning of the movie, and they're smoking some hashish. They rent a bicycle. They're riding around. They're having a good time on vacation. Two of them fly out the next morning. They leave Joaquin Phoenix back over there. And the credit sequence, or the intro rolls. When it comes back out, it opens up with someone coming over to Vince Vaughn and the other guy and saying, when you guys left Malaysia, your buddy was arrested for all the hashish that y'all had because they came looking for that bicycle that you didn't return. And if neither one of you goes back, he's going to die. If both of you come back and accept your share of the hashish, you'll each get 5 years in a Malaysian prison. Or if one of you comes back, you'll get 10 years in a Malaysian
Nah, I'm sorry, I can't go back.
And they were all best friends.
Well,
and they have to decide, like, if I go back by myself, I'll get 10 years. If we both go back, I'll get 5. If not, our buddy dies. I just think about that movie every time I'm hearing about this situation.
So, let me ask you this.
Like if it was us?
So that's a great question because with the Brittney Griner thing, she made $1.5 million playing in Russia, which is $1 million more than anybody's ever made playing in the WNBA before this. Would you go back to Russia for $1.5 million right now? I'm not going to Russia for $1.5 million. I'm not.
So she made more money playing in Russia than she did for her whole career.
I don't know a WNBA player that makes that type of money unless I'm wrong.
Just to go to Russia at 1.5?
To play, like to go play in Russia 1.5, right now in Russia. Again, you could ask me, do I want to go play in Jurassic Park for $2 million? I'm not going because I don't want to get eaten by a velociraptor on the way to the court.
I'm going to play for 1.5 million.
In Russia right now.
For sure.
Good luck.
Like, look, guys, I know.
Yeah, good luck.
Guys from there.
Well, then don't bring hashish.
Yeah,
I
don't
won't
do that.
I won't at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we can agree there.
1.5, you're not going.
1.5, I'm not going to Russia.
2 are you going?
2? No.
2.5.
Now we're just getting a little.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, you're going to keep raising the same.
All right.
Again,
I just wanted to know the line.
Here's the way I look at it.
I just wanted to know the line.
No. Here's the way I look at it. If the government offered me $2 million to do a mission in Russia, I'd accept it. So of course I'd accept.
So you'd rather accept $2 million?
$2.5 million. $2.5.
Go do a dangerous mission.
Yes.
Than rather accept $2.5 and just go play basketball.
Won't bring hashish.
This is how these guys got involved in the Live Golf Tour because everyone has a number, and I feel like
everyone has
no
hashish.
PGA Tour, no PGA Tour. Yes, Live Tour. Like 9 figures.
But no, again, I'm not going to Russia for $1.5 million. Brittney Griner is basically, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of women's basketball over here. Just come be 9 foot tall and dunk it and just be the globetrotter everybody wants you to be.
I still think Dennis Rodman fits into this situation.
Dennis Rodman fits into any
He's
situation.
hanging out with Kim Jong-un.
What happens when you have 35 personalities?
Vladimir Putin.
But
send me.
Let's get into rapid fire. Don't send Blaine. Let's get into rapid fire. Can we hit the button?
First one. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Pew pew. Future
Boom.
gun.
Game 1, Stanley Cup Finals tonight. It is here. Colorado Avalanche, Tampa Bay Lightning. You guys have said the Lightning are going to win the Stanley Cup for their 3rd in a row. Do you stand by that?
I said it, okay? I said it. I said the Lightning were going to win the series.
You did say that, yeah.
And I think they're going to. And I've gone back and forth. But remember, guys, the Lightning dropped the first game at the Rangers 6-2. Didn't look great. Darcy's coming back for the Avs. He's feeling healthy. But Braden Point coming back for the Lightning, which is going to be huge on the power play because he's their Charlie from Mighty Ducks when they start running the Flying V.
They run the Flying V tonight?
That's their Charlie. Stamkos has had to kind of beat Charlie a little bit. Now they got their Charlie back. I do feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. I do, and you're going to see it in my bets. I'm taking chances, like I told you. But I think the Avs may overwhelm them with the style of play because, again, when the Avs see the goal, they're shooting. There's not a lot of extra passing, as I've continued to say, and I'm so excited to see the different styles. The fast, poetic, free-moving offense of the Avs and the way they work and the way they worked in the Western Conference against the Lightning, who are gritty and tough. They're like Donald Cerrone or Cowboy Cerrone's character in Terror on the Prairie, just gritty, tough, like just down and dirty. They got the vets. They've had the Stanley Cup. They've sippeth from Lord Stanley's cuppeth. So I'm going with the Lightning. But tonight, it's going to get a little weird, Cone.
Lightning in 6.
In 6?
Lightning
in 6. When I think about this, for some reason, 1, you get point back.
Yep.
And 2, I mean, you have the second best goalie.
Vasilevsky's nice, man. He's going to have to be.
Yeah, for sure. It's just I lean to goalies in this. Goalies matter so much in hockey to me. And I feel Lightning's their experience. They know how to win championships. Avalanche, I feel like the Lightning have a good enough goalie to be able to take that onslaught on from the Avalanche when they just shoot this puck after puck after puck. I do have the Avs winning the game tonight. But still, I would take the Lightning in 6. I believe in Stamkos and the boys.
Okay, that's interesting. They are back-to-back champions, all right? And the East was more of a gauntlet that they just ran through. Maple Leafs, Rangers, all that. And you're talking about the second-best goalie. They just went through the best goalie, okay, in Shesterkin. But the Avalanche have won 12 of their 14 playoff games. And the West is no joke. But
does
Two sweeps, and they beat the Blues 4-2.
I'm not going to be mad at who you played. But the Lightning, they've been there, done that. They've been to the dance. They drank the Kool-Aid. They snuck a drink in there. They know how it works. They know how the chaperones are looking. They understand. They did. The Lightning did. It's Tampa. You ever been there? Come on, everybody's sneaking drinks.
I have been to Tampa.
But you have been to Tampa?
I have.
Nice.
I have.
Like Kenny Powers. Kenny went to Tampa.
It's a good time.
Anyways, I do think the Avs are going to win tonight. I'm just very interested to see the different styles collide. That's what I like to see. I like seeing the gritty Celtics versus the free-flowing Warriors. It's kind of the same thing we've talked about, even though the Celtics have absolutely blown it.
Well, give me the Avalanche, but out of respect for the Lightning and, hoping that we can talk about this for as long as possible, I'll say in 7.
Yeah, but let's make like the All-American.
That's in the Game 7's at the Avs, correct?
Yes. All right. The Steelers make Minkah Fitzpatrick the highest paid safety in NFL history. He's going to get 4 years, $18.4 million per, $36 million guaranteed.
What is John Malkovich saying, Rounders, at the end?
He says a lot of things.
Pay that man his money.
Okay, I thought you were going to say, he tricked me. He checked.
No, there's no tricking. Minkah's legit. Minkah's worth every penny. Minkah was a dog in college. His versatility is his strength. He can do multiple things. He's unbelievable with the ball in the air. His hips, he can turn, he can bend, he's got really good hands, and he's a solid tackler. That's the thing. He's a guy you don't worry about putting in the sky. You don't worry about walking down in the slot. You don't worry about getting him close to the box or be able to help fill in the run game. He's an eraser. He's a do-everything. Again, the more I can do, the better chance I have to get more jobs, the better chance I have to get paid. We talk about the best teams are the ones that can win in multiple ways. The best players are the ones that can beat you in multiple ways. And Minkah Fitzpatrick can beat you in every single way. To me, he is a prototypical safety, and I would love to build a defense. I'd take him in front of Jamal Adams. I would. And I think the Steelers are telling you that they would. I would. Yep. I think he's better in coverage. Jamal will come down and thump you. Jamal's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a player, was one at LSU, has been a hell of a player in the NFL. But Minkah does a little bit more to me.
You taking Minkah or Justin Simmons?
Minkah or Justin Simmons?
Yeah.
I'm taking Minkah.
He is a quintessential stealer. He's a quintessential stealer.
Leader. Like he is a guy you build a team around in that back end. He is. They hit gold with this kid. And Saban said it.
Some other safeties about to get paid too.
Well, they are. There's more than one good safety in the NFL, but you bet your bottom dollar, little orphan Andy, that Minkah can do it. Minkah can do it.
I mean, you got Kevin Beard of the Titans.
Good player.
You got Antonio Whitfield from Tampa Bay.
Whitfield may be the most underrated one out of all.
You got Marcus Williams from the Ravens. You got Justin Simmons from the Broncos. You got Jesse Bates from the Bengals.
It's a great look. It's a great crop of young safeties.
I don't think it's a bad investment. I think, look.
Well, he won't be the highest paid for long. Who's
the highest paid? You're the highest paid for about a week.
A week, yeah.
These guys are sitting looking,
which is great. Oh, for sure.
It's great.
The market bears what the market bears. I hope everybody around me is getting paid.
Exactly, but he is a quintessential stealer.
He is.
Think about Troy Polamalu and some of the guys that they've had on defense. I just love it. Either the Steelers or the Raiders is where you see some.
Look, he's a Bama guy.
Well, they're smart. It's a good bet. It's a good bet. We got anything else in rapid fire?
Nope, that's it.
Blaine, Booster Club while I walk over the board of insecurity, security, dexterity, and Dexter's Laboratory.
All right, Ryan McCarthy says Jamal Adams can play well in the box, but not really that good.
Yeah, again, he's not as versatile as Minka. Minka, I'm telling you, Minka can do it all. Like, I could put Minka anywhere. I could put Minka at corner and be fine. I could put Minka at nickel and be fine. Hell, I could probably put Minka at will and not worry about it. We'll just pinch the front.
David Atkinson says the Avs have the best defensive men in the league, and I'm pretty sure I looked up earlier. He says the Avs in 5.
Ooh.
Avs in 5?
It's a bold strategy.
That is
Cotton.
bold.
Let's really see if it pays off for you.
Let's see if it pays
I have them in
off.
7.
Well, let's get to bets. All right. 1-1 last night. Braves took care of it early. 7 runs early. The Blue Jays just scored 5. Again, I got to stop betting on Canada. You guys continue to not only let me down, but pretty much everybody else, including your own citizens. But we're not talking about that. Here's what I got today. Give me the Avs over 3.5. It's a siege. If this was the medieval times and the Avs was an army, they would be the army that puts lines out by your castle and shoots the big flaming balls out of the catapult. It's a siege. They're just going to siege the city, try and burn it down. Vasilevsky's going to have to make more saves than Flo from Progressive. So give me Avs over 3.5 goals. It's going off at plus 110. It's dog bet season. Y'all have seen it. Y'all have seen it. Not all dogs go to heaven either, but I just need one of them to. So the second one, not a dog bet. What?
What did you say? All dogs don't go to heaven?
Not dog bets.
Oh, okay. Let's say you best come correct.
I do come correct. I'm the correctest.
Best come correct about dogs.
Yeah. Oh, I'm. Yeah.
Who let them out?
The Baja Men. That's it.
You're right.
Tampa Bay over 2.5 goals. Can we win 4-3? If we go 3-3 to overtime,
You need goals.
I need goals.
You need goals.
I need goals. I'm reaching goals. Just closed on a house this morning. Why not?
Look at you.
Why not?
Don't get a car today.
I know.
Look at you.
We're on fire.
Big day today.
Cone, what are you doing?
Hey, I'm just hanging out.
Yeah, Cone's like, I got a baby. That's so Tampa Bay over 2.5 goals, minus 137. Let's fill it up. Let's play a game called Everybody Get Weird and let's score a lot of goals. Let's figure it out. Blaine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Cone.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
Wow. You want to go third?
No, let's go ahead.
Well, look, if Atkinson's right and the Avs are going to win in 5, they probably need to get off to a hot start, right? So I'm going to take the Avs money line tonight at minus 154. Let's see what happens. Goals, no goals. We need the Avs to win. And then we have to ride this Braves streak, boys.
They're hot.
We have to. So I'm going to go for a 4th day in a row. Braves money line coming in right at the line, minus 200.
Wow, you went cap.
Yep.
And that's no cap. Blaine.
3 things.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to start first one with Huddy. The Tigers are down 14-0. 14-0 right now. I don't know who they're playing, but he's like, will you please tear them a new one? I want someone in the franchise to hear you.
Okay.
I don't know much about the Tigers this year, and there's probably a reason for that, because y'all are terrible.
I'll say this. There's
terrible.
one person that could save the Tigers franchise, and he's in Flint, Michigan right now, and he's a promoter. His name's Jackie Moon. You may want to see the biography, Semi-Pro. He turned a city up in Flint, Michigan. Look up the Mega Bowl.
You go in your parents' room.
I thought he was going to say Liam Neeson.
No, he's too busy.
He is. That's exactly who it is. All right, hey, doing great so far, guys. 8-15-1. I wish we had that Adam Sandler thing where you can click it and say, someone kill me, please.
Yeah.
It's not going well right now. Everything I touch is like that one South Park episode when something happens to Kyle and he just hates everything. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out on a limb.
Do it.
Take 2 bets today that definitely have no chance of hitting. All right? So give me McKinnon and the Avs, McKinnon to score at least a goal and the Avs to win.
Oh, that's hitting.
That's hitting.
That's hitting, Blaine. That's a lock. Dude, lock that thing away.
You know what that and Austin Riley have in common? They're both hitting.
Oh, that's a lock.
Now I hate both of you for that. Well, did y'all plan this?
Huh?
Is this planned?
No.
This feels premeditated.
No.
Okay, cool. That's plus 230. No chance. Mets minus 1.5 against the Brewers, I believe, at home. They're minus 1.5 and plus 240. No chance. No chance of hitting. So it's slowly turning into hashtag Fade Flaming Dragon.
No.
Don't
do
I can't
that.
feel it.
Don't do that to my friend Blaine.
Deep down in my heart that, guys, everything I touch right now is the opposite of those Midas commercials.
All right, so Fade Blaine. Not Flaming Dragon. It's Fade
On
you.
Fridays.
Flaming Dragon has nothing to do with it. This is you.
You don't get to say what Flaming Dragon has to do.
Also, tell them about our boy Brad.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm going to sit down and tell him about that. Real quick, Baby Cone, 12-8 on the month. The dude is as consistent as me getting a migraine at least once during the week. He's going to go Yankees -1.5 at +155, and the Padres money line. Let's go down to San Diego, +115. Love where Baby Cone's head's at. I got to say this, and y'all know us. We don't get upset about something unless it's warranted, and we take care of our own. Our buddy Brad yesterday had a bet that I complimented him on. Over 1.5 bases for the Benedict Arnold of Major League Baseball, who is Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman walked twice. It's over 1.5 bases. He walked twice. And you're telling me, Sportsbooks of America, that doesn't count as over 1.5 bases? What type of place are we even in? That's disgusting, and it needs to be changed. So today, we're all Brad. We're riding for Brad. Not the brand, that has an N in it. We're riding for Brad. It's a base is a base. I don't care if you get hit by a pitch, if you walk or reach on an error. That's something that needs to be changed. Fix it now.
One thing you're missing right there, one that is totally crap, and two is this fifth leg of a 5.
Fifth leg of a 5-leg parlay.
Brad, but this is the thing about it, all right? Some of this is on you.
No.
This is on you. You have to look at that bet, and you have to really look at it and find where it says that.
You know what?
It's the truth.
No.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Well,
it's the truth.
You know,
And it's the same day that Draymond Green had ended the game with 7 assists. I wake up, I look at it, I'm all jolly, I end up going 1-1. That's fine, I'll take it. I wake up the next day, and it's a 6-assist day. I don't know. Something happened.
Well, here's what I
think. What
think.
day it was. Maybe aliens landed.
If we've seen Breaking Bad, if anybody out there's seen Breaking Bad, all right, I forgot what episode and what season it is. He makes a call and gets 10 dudes like iced in prison at the same time. Somebody made the call yesterday. You've got that with Brad. Freddie Freeman walks twice. We're not saying that's over 1.5 bases. We're having to have stat corrections. You put 7 assists on the board. We're looking at it taking as 7 assists. That's y'all. Y'all have got to be better. I don't feel
How
like
is that
it's on
not
us.
1.5 bases?
I don't know. Somebody explain it.
He's standing on the base.
it's not right.
You walk to the base once. We can all agree that's 1. You walk again to the base. That's 2. Booster Club. Are we crazy? Is anybody saying like
Hashtag sad for Brad.
it's sad for Brad. Hashtag sad for Brad.
Stand with Brad. Hashtag ride for Brad.
How is this not a
Hashtag
thing?
fade Blaine.
Yeah. Look, sometimes you make your bet, you got to
Blaine's control Dr. Lee says, Blaine's bet today. I will take the depression money line that my bet record gives me, driving me to drink more tonight.
Hey, well, listen, sometimes it goes down like that. But like we always say, there's a couple things we always say, right, before we get out of here. 1, good teams win, great teams cover.
We do say
And
that.
number 2, if we know that you know the wrong answer, then we know the right answer.
Yes.
So we'll see how it goes. And if you listen,
How are we feeling about-
if you've got the opposite of the minus touch, which we'll have to come up with something for that. It's where instead of everything you touch turns to gold, maybe
What's that South Park episode?
Yeah, stuff like that. That's exactly right. We'll figure it out. But if you don't know the answer, then we're going to find out.
But and then we'll still let you give a speech. Like
We'll
if
still
you
let
miss
you-
all of them and you're so consistent that it helps us hit
Yes.
ours, you can give a speech.
I will cede
giving
you
a
time. I will yield you
Not
time.
giving-
You can give a loser
not
speech,
giving a
man,
speech.
because you
I'm not
won.
doing that.
By doing that, you won.
What do we think about Cole's take on the Sandlot?
It's a
I can
baseball
understand
movie.
it. It's a baseball movie, but I'll be honest, he doesn't make a bad argument.
This
Like, I
idea
gotta
that-
tip my
This
cap
idea
to
that
him.
Major League is a baseball movie, like there's nothing else going on in Major
Major
League. There's
League's
no
good.
other character
What about
development.
Angels
There's
in
no
the
other plot.
Huh?
Angels in the outfield.
He should have asked
I
him.
saw
You
that
blew
movie
it.
so many times. Oh yeah, for love of the game too. Maybe we should just get Cole on just to break down.
Now, if he'd have said that about The Natural, you'd have really had. And I'm gonna be honest with you. We saw you crash the mess on the red carpet the other day on the RPO. Peter Burns, our buddy at SC Network, said it may be targeting. They're looking into it. You almost had to sit until the sub break.
I know.
I
and that's why.
pulled that.
That's why
Look, I
replacement
pulled
Cole was here.
that.
Well,
It was
you
nice.
were getting eaten up too. You know. I mean, look, I was
What?
blowing that
What,
place.
you are,
I wish we had the
you
picture.
committed.
Now, they
You
say
committed.
targeting is forcible contact to the head or neck area, just like I told Peter Burns. Oh, it was
Launched.
forcible contact.
Yeah, it was. You launched.
But not to the head or neck area.
You launched.
It looked-
No target.
Crown of the helmet.
neckish.
No target.
Crown of
Hey,
the helmet.
we'll
All
go-
right, I'm going to read the Booster Club bets. Here's what we got. Excuse me, as I choke to death live. Dragon B Flamin' is 6-0. Twins Mariners, first 3 under 2.5 at -125. That's what I'm saying. Do not disrespect
First
Flamin'
3
Dragon.
innings under 2.5.
I like
runs.
that.
-125. Lava Leech, 5-0, wants the Avs money line, -152. Dinkin Flicka, 27's 4-0, wants the Jays -1.5. JT Bryan, 12, he's 5-0, wants the Jays first 5, money line, -190. EJ Runis, 3-0, Braves money line. Jeremiah D. Wright, White Sox money line, -104. See if I can see it. Williams DG 3-0. Braves money line. Revco 250's 3-0. Jay's first 5. He wants them over a half run. Then B More College Football's 3-0. He wants the Lightning plus 1.5.
Love it.
Thoughts?
Poll.
I
had to do it.
Is the Sandlot a baseball movie?
I should have done that, but I didn't.
Dang, Blaine.
I should. Well, it was too. I should have thought of that. That's on me. God, it's Kirk Cousins, a top 10 quarterback, guys.
Oh, here we go.
This was yesterday.
That's
Here
fine.
we
Live
go.
forever,
You
David.
just couldn't
Live
let it
forever.
die, could you?
Live forever.
I'm going to say no, probably 60%.
No, 61%.
No, 70%.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, 70%? I mean, look, I think you can make an argument for him being top 10. I think there's some unnecessary hate on Kirk Cousins. I really do.
Top 15 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, then Baker's not top 15, if we're going to say that.
I say 15 to 20.
Yeah, it's probably
Because you were taking Baker over Kirk, right? That's the crux of this issue.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking
That
Kirk
really wasn't
Cousins
the
over
crux of
Baker.
it.
Oh, that was the horse
That
crux
was,
of
the,
it.
the segment was called Better Than Baker.
Yeah.
And
No,
Kirk Cousins
no,
did.
I can understand what the top 10 quarterback Kirk Cousins think. That's what got me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's.
But
that's
are you
what got
taking
me.
Kirk or Baker? Because I can't remember from yesterday.
Spider-Man GIF, man?
No, it's not.
They're not the
Spider-Man
same.
No, it's
We're
not.
behind each other. It's
No.
One of these things is not like
It's
the other.
same. They're the same guy.
No.
Jamison Baker.
No, Jameis Baker.
Jamison Baker, yes.
Maybe not
Kirk,
even that.
no.
Jameis might still be better than that.
No. It's not even close. But we do have all access tomorrow,
All
guys.
access tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 11:30. You can check us out. It's Crane and Company, 11:30 Central. That's 12:30 Eastern. I don't know what time that is in Germany, but it's probably not 11:30 Central or 12:30 Eastern. So come hang out with us. We're going to play games, talk sports, entertainment. You get to know us. We get to know you. Because, again, what else are you going to do? But we appreciate you guys joining us. Parting thoughts, anything? Blaine, Cone.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Hate you
Friendship.
guys.
Let's go say Brittney Griner. Let's do it together.
I'm good.
Let's do it. And then
Yeah.
a one-on-one matchup. You take her spot on the.
Cool with that. Definitely not going over the state right now.
Like Liam Neeson's chances of not saving Brittney Griner if they ask him, we're going, gone.